How to send 800 messages on LinkedIn in a single day. Hi, my name is Chris Casalino, and I'm the co founder and head of services at Uptown Creation, a B2B marketing and LinkedIn lead generation company. So, there's a couple caveats to this method, but by the end of this, you're going to be able to send 800 messages on LinkedIn in a single day to people that you're not even connected with. So, that means second and third degree connections, you can already message the people that you're connected with. So, that's a non issue. Now, this is something that you can do in a single day, but you can only do it once a month. You can also spread this out throughout the month, but if you really want to blast out a lot of messages, this is going to be the way to do it. Now, you're not going to use bots or automation or anything. This is all going to be by hand. It'll take probably about 2 hours once all is said and done, but you're going to learn a lot along the way. And at the end of it, you're going to have 800 messages sent out to ideal prospects with a good message. So the first thing that you want to make sure you have is an optimized profile. And what I say by that, you can check out the videos that I have about optimizing your profile, but really I just mean a good profile picture and a good headline, because those are going to be the things that deter people from reading your message or your in-mail. Everything else on your profile, most people aren't going to look at. So that's going to be the number one step to all of this. Number two, I would highly recommend that you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The reason why is you'll be able to search for the most active people on LinkedIn and get the most value out of this strategy. Now, if you don't have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, there is a 60-day free trial in the description below. I recommend you test that out. If you don't have LinkedIn Sales Navigator and you don't want to get it, you can duplicate this method. The search results just aren't going to be as good as if you used LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So when you get into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it'll look just like this. And the first thing that you're going to do is create a lead search. So let's go ahead and go about this by starting with United States, second, third degree connections. We're going to go ahead and exclude saved leads. We're going to remove contacted people. So this means that people will automatically get removed as we kind of work through the list that we build. Now, just so I can create a lead list, I'm going to just save one person to an in-mail list. So if you hit this little plus, we're going to name it in-mails so we can keep track of everybody that we send it to and know when we've actually hit 800. But the thing that we're going to be taking advantage of is messaging open profiles. The way to know if somebody is an open profile, at least one of the easiest ways, is to see this golden IN badge next to somebody's name and their connection degree. So most profiles that have a golden badge means that they'll be an open profile. By default, LinkedIn makes LinkedIn premium members open profiles. You can change this setting though. So what that'll look like is when you go to message them, instead of saying that it'll use a credit, it'll say free to open profile. Usually you only get 50 credits a month with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Those will stack up to 3 months. So 150 credits would be the most that you could have stacked up. But this is going to allow you to send out 800 messages. So before we go into the targeting itself, I'm going to tell you the couple things that you need to be aware of. So visiting 800 profiles is a lot throughout the day. So in order to make sure that you don't get a block, which you would get if you use bots or automation, you're going to want to send the message from the search page itself. If you end up clicking into a lot of people's profiles, that counts as a profile view, and profile views are one of the things that LinkedIn is going to deter you from doing too many. If you visit too many profiles in a single day, you will get a profile block and you just won't be able to visit anybody else. You won't even be able to send them messages. It'll just kind of make it so you can't use LinkedIn for a little bit. So you're going to want to send the message itself from the saved search page, which is probably the easiest way to do it anyways. The cadence that I kind of go through is first, I'll click the 3 dots and I'll hit message. Then I'll see if it's an open profile. If it is, that's great. I'll usually start with their name and then I'll send my message in there. We'll talk about the message in a second, but I want to show you this cadence. Then after I send that message, I'll mark the check next to their name, and then go down the list until there's no more. Then at the very end, I'll hit save to list and save it to my in-mail list so I know how many that I've sent out. And then I'll go on to the next page and kind of rinse and repeat that until I've reached 800 messages. Now, so the two biggest determinants of success are going to be the message that you're actually sending to them. We already talked about your profile. Your profile looked great, so that's a non-issue. But it's going to the third thing is going to be their activity level on LinkedIn. So we're going to want to search for people who have changed jobs in the last 90 days or posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Ideally, we'll just use the posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days, but if the pool of people isn't big enough, that's all right. And then worst case scenario, if you're messaging a very specific demographic and there's just not that many people, you don't need to sort by any spotlights. And you can just make the assumption that they're paying for LinkedIn Premium. They're probably more active than not since they're paying LinkedIn money. So now you kind of know the methodology. You know a little bit about how to go about doing it, but you don't know what message to send and you don't know exactly how to do targeting to get the right people. So we built up the targeting list and the lead filters to make it so you're not getting duplicate results. You're not keeping people in the list after you've already sent them a message. What I would recommend is using job title, industry, and current company name to get a really specific filter. Then you can throw in company headcount if you want to go after smaller companies. Just to give an example, let's do owner, founder. We'll do industry as being embedded software products. That's a fun one. You spell founder right. We'll do CEO, Chief Executive Officer, President. Oops. Anytime you search for president, you need to search not vice president. So exclude vice president so it doesn't muddy your results up. And obviously, we only got 218 people, so we would need a bigger search. This is a really small industry, so it's probably a bad one to choose as an example. But nonetheless, we have 218 people here that we can go after. So again, to recap kind of what the strategy would look like is first click the three dots, go to message. If it says free to open profile, you're going to type in their name with two dots after it, and then you're going to copy and paste the message that you're sending out. Now, the message itself should ideally not start with, hey, Troy. You've already identified the person's name that you're reaching out to. You want to just jump into it. So I like to start with, I know this is random, but you seemed like the best person to reach out to. And then go into, my name's Chris and I'm the co-founder of Uptown Creation. I saw X, Y, and Z and was interested in learning more about this aspect. Then you can go into what you do in one or two sentences and then have the call to action most likely being to get on a call with you, since nothing more is really going to happen in a direct message itself. You want to make it short. You want to make it so it starts off different than what everybody else is seeing in their inbox, which is why we're not starting off with hey and their name or greetings or salutation. And you want to have a very clear reason why you're reaching out and include a direct call to action with most likely a call link in there. From here, after you send the message, you're going to mark them with a check mark, go down the page of 25 results. Then at the end, save them to your in-mail list so you can keep track of them. They'll automatically be removed from the list, and then you can go on until you've reached your 800 messages sent. Remember to do it from the saved search page so you don't hit a limit, and play around with the search filters before you send out messages to try to make it be as lucrative as possible and reap the best results by getting the best targeting. Your results are going to be directly reflective of your targeting and how direct and on point that is, as well as the quality of your message and the words that you're saying to them. Direct outreach is all about, making sure that you're saying the words to the right person and then saying the right words to that person to not throw them off and also stand out in their inbox. At the end of the day, the big thing that you're competing with for attention is the other messages that somebody's receiving on LinkedIn. So I'm sure that if you go through your inbox right now, you're going to see hey and your name starting off every single message, which is why I'd highly recommend not starting your message off that way. And you'll see a lot better results. Now, this is something that you can do in a single day. You can also spread this out throughout the month. What I would recommend doing if you're not a big LinkedIn user, choose a day out of the month and knock them out. It'll reset on the first of every single month. You can send out 800 messages. If you're an SDR, a sales rep, whatever it is, get those messages sent out on a single day throughout the month, and then rinse and repeat that every single month. And that's the way that in a single year, you'll be able to send out 9,600 messages on LinkedIn to people that you're not connected with. And that is some of the easiest cold outreach that you will ever encounter. Way easier than cold calling, way easier than cold emails, way easier than all of it. If you liked this tip and tactic, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. Ask any questions that you have in the comments. Ask me any other topics that you would like me to go over. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can check out our website at uptowncreation.com in the description below. Until next time.